on James all the way in.
Here comes Simmons the other way, 3-on-2. Simmons eludes the defender and lays it in with that. Certainly the length altered that shot. Out of it with the steps.
I guess one trade, and this is just going to be on a separate video, but one trade I was looking at, or not one trade, but like one player that could be on the trade block is Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis.
You know, we've been talking a lot about Boogie Cousins being on the trade block, but maybe we were looking at the wrong big at the time.
We might be looking at the wrong one.
Anthony Davis, there's been rumors that he might either go to the Cavs, he might go to the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
What are we thinking about Anthony Davis? What's a better fit for AD?
Better fit. I'm trying to think of like the perfect fit for. It pains me to say it, but it really probably is the Celtics. Honestly, I mean, just fit wise, him and Kyrie Irving together is crazy. That's such a crazy team. I don't know how they would even figure that out. They would have to get rid of Horford, but he makes so much money.
You get rid of Horford, you give him either Marcus Smart or you give him Terry Rozier, and then you also give them a pick. Either the, depending on this year, because if this year you get a 2 through 5, then the Celtics get that pick. So if they end up getting that pick, you could honestly trade it to the Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
You got rid of a big contract in Horford. You get a superstar in Anthony Davis, and you also get rid of another point guard that's taking up minutes from either Marcus Smart or Terry Rozier. Because I feel like you're not going to be able to pay both those guys.
Yeah.
So you have to pick one, and I think it has to be either Marcus Smart or Terry Rozier. I just feel like Marcus Smart has really instilled himself with the Celtics as like a Celtics guy now.
Yeah.
That I think he would be the dude to stay other than Terry Rozier. But then also you have to give up that pick depending. Because, I mean, they also have other assets as well as the Memphis pick in like 2020.
I think they'd be willing to give any picks.
Yeah.
Like, to get Anthony Davis, they give anything for him, you know?
Yeah.
What about this? Well, not that. I don't want Shane Larkin on there. Get off there.
The only thing I'm worried about, or like not worried about, the only thing I'm curious about is the Cavs. Like, what do you give up for the Cavs? You give up Kevin Love. You obviously give up the Brooklyn pick. The Brooklyn pick has to be involved if you're getting Anthony Davis.
It's got to be Kevin Love, really.
Kevin Love and maybe one of those
Tough.
expiring contracts.
I mean, it's to me the biggest one, and I think it's just finding the right team for him. It's Isaiah Thomas is their best trade piece other than the Brooklyn pick.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of teams are going to be really worried about that, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I just don't know if they're allowed to trade him.
They are. The only team they can't trade him to is the Celtics.
The Celtics? Okay.
Yeah, he just has the exception of you can't be traded to the team or whatever that you were traded to.
Okay, so I think...
About this. Al Horford, Markieff Morris, he has a really favorable contract for how he plays. And then Semi, who's kind of like a promising young player. Mm-hmm. You give a first-round pick. I'm curious if I'm giving too much away from the Celtics. But then you get Anthony Davis, and then you shed that awful Omer Asik contract.
Ugh.
That's,
It's a good it's a good theory, and like it's good. I just think it's a little bit too much.
I think the biggest problem with this trade is Horford's contract is really crazy.
Yeah.
Not crazy in the sense of like how his quality of play, but it's 3 years, almost $28 million. And if they get rid of Anthony Davis, the theory would be that they're trying to rebuild to some extent, you know? So why would they want to bring on a $28 million 3-year contract? But I guess it would only be 2 years after this, so they would only have that for 2 more years. And he's a very viable player. You know, he's having one of the best seasons of his career.
See, the thing isn't just my opinion. It's just the Pelicans are just stuck, like we've been talking about. They're just a really mediocre team, who should be so much better with those two bigs, but they're just not. So I think it's just the Pelicans, what they should do, and it's because they messed up with a couple bad contracts and a couple different things, is that they really should have built around Anthony Davis. I don't feel like they did it properly with shooters around him and anything to kind of complement his gameplay. So it also doesn't help that he's gotten injured a little bit. Mm-hmm. I won't say he's injury prone, but he's gotten injured quite a bit. So, I mean, I like Anthony Davis, and I think he's going to be a great player. it just sucks that they didn't build around him to kind of build a better team, and now we're talking about it here with trade rumors with him leaving.
If I had to rate this of all the major star players who are allegedly on the trade block, this is the lowest one to me.
Yeah.
Just because, he still has 4 years on his contract. He's only making $24 million for, considering he's a top 10 player in the league.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really favorable contract.
Yeah.
He's only getting better as the years go on, and he's only 24.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see them trading him unless they get something incredible in return.
Yeah.
So even this Boston Celtics trade, which you're a little worried that they're giving too much away, I still think it would I feel like they would decline that trade of Al Horford, Markieff. Is it Marcus Morris? Or is it Markieff Morris?
I think it's Marcus.
I don't even remember which one is which. I think it's Marcus, right?
I believe it's Marcus.
All right, whatever. Marcus Morris, and then Semi, and then the first round pick. I don't know if they'd take that trade. I think it's not enough. Or there's just not enough young talent in there.
I don't know. But if I'm the Pelicans, what is our game plan? I feel like they don't have a game plan and they're just kind of going with the flow. Instead of building a success or an outline of what they want to do in terms of, year 3 we want to be here. Year 4 we want to be in this place. They're just kind of in this. We'll just see how it goes. We traded for DeMarcus Cousins because he's a good player. We'll just get him, and they just haven't really done anything. I don't know what the standings are right now because they've changed over the weekend.
I think they're in 5th right now.
They're in 5th?
They're either in 5th or 6th place. Oh, I'm wrong. They're in 7th.
They're in 7th. So, they're not with the team that they have. They really should be in the playoffs, which they have been now. But I just feel that they're gonna. I just feel like the teams below them could catch up and beat them out.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. This team is so crazy to me because there's sometimes I watch them play, and the biggest problem with that team in general, and he's my favorite player on their team, but it's DeMarcus Cousins' defense.
Yeah,
is such an issue with the rest of their team. The composition of the team can't compensate for how poor he is on defense, his effort.
Yeah.
And night in, night out, you don't know if he's going to make it to the 4th quarter because he's either going to get ejected or whatever's going to happen.
Yeah.
He hurts the team, but they absolutely need him on the court to be, offensively viable.
Yeah.
It's just so weird because when they're on, they're so good. They're almost unbeatable. When they played against the Celtics, they looked so good, but they were all on, and can that happen 7 games in a row in a playoff series? I don't think so.
Probably
I just don't
not.
think there's a chance it can happen.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, what do you think? Do you think Anthony Davis would be one of those dudes that should be traded? Do you think that he'd be a better fit for the Celtics or the Cavs? Or what other team do you think he'd be a fit for? Just let us know in the comment section down below. I'll be sure to leave a question down there so you guys can answer that.
Keep in mind, too, guys, Anthony Davis has made it very clear that he does not want to play the 5 or play center anywhere, really, So I think if it comes down to which team he's going to go to, you have to really take that into consideration.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to be happy if he goes there and you're like, oh, you're the center now, Anthony. He's going to be like, why would I want to be here? Keep that in mind.